we will listen to a story from Crizabella.
Welcome to our story time. Today, let's talk about God. The title of our story is God's Creation. Before God created the world, everything was dark and empty. The Bible tells us that God changed all that. He knew the world needed light. So he said, "Let there be light." Suddenly, there was a bright and shining light everywhere. God saw how good the light was. He also separated it from darkness. Then God gave the light a name. God called the light day and the darkness night. This was the first day. Now everything was not dark all the time. Sometimes it was bright because it was day. But there was still one problem. The world was so covered with water. It would be hard to live when everything was still covered with water. But God has a wonderful and perfect plan. The Bible says, "Let there be space between the waters to separate the water above from the water below." God is so wonderful and powerful that when He spoke these words, He created the sky. And so God made this space sky to separate the water above from the water below. This happened on the second day. At the end of the day, God had already made day and night. So He separated the waters to make the heavens and the earth. God had many more wonderful things planned. On the beginning of the third day, God made tall mountains, deep valleys, and long flat plains. He also made different kinds of flowers and fruit trees. God looked at all He had done. He saw it was good. God already created the bright sky, the deep blue waters. He gathered the mountains and created wonderful fruit trees. He had even more wonderful surprises for us. God said, "Let there be light in the sky to separate the day from night." When God spoke, He gave us two great lights, one for daytime and one for nighttime. God set the sun, moon, and stars in the sky to give us night and day. It was the end of the fourth day. On the fifth day, God made birds and fishes. He wanted birds to fly across the sky, and He also created all the great creatures of the sea. On the evening of the fifth day, the skies were filled with birds, and fishes leaped from the water. But still, land was quiet. But this was not for long. On the morning of the sixth day, God said, "Let the land produce living creatures." Suddenly, the land was full of noise. The baa-baa of the sheep, the running feet of deer, the bark of dogs, and the roar of lions. More animals came in. The hopping rabbit, the quiet stalking cats, and the loud stomping of elephants, and many more. God saw that all of this was good. The Bible tells us that there was no one to take care of everything that God has created. So God performed another miracle. He made Adam out of clay and Eve out of the ribs of Adam. God gave Adam and Eve work to do, to name all the creatures God created and to take care of the world that He made. At the end of the day, God was pleased with all He had made. It was the end of the sixth day. On the seventh day, God rested from all the work. Because God rested on this day, it was a very, very special day. God blessed it and made it holy. God also wants us to have a special day of rest. The Bible calls this day Sabbath. We show God we love Him when we remember Him and have day of rest. Exodus 20 verse 11 says, "And God rested on the seventh day."
Thank you, Crizabella.
I hope that all of us have learned the lessons from the story.